Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're going to be telling the story of River Shen, how this pick took over in the LCS playoffs, how it brought TSM to the finals of the 2020 summer split, the most unlikely of champions, most unlikely of picks, and the most unlikely of players. Before we get into this video today, I just want to mention real quick, if you guys are not already subscribed, definitely click that subscribe button really quick. It helps you guys stay up to date on all the latest content, and it helps me out a ton as well. With that being said, here we go, getting right into today's video. I'm going to start out by providing some context. As you can see on the screen here, this is game 4 of the LCS lower bracket finals. It is pretty much the semifinals. TSM is playing against Team Liquid. TSM is down 2-1 in the series. This is an elimination game for them. If Team Liquid wins just one more game, TSM is eliminated and TL will be headed to the finals to take on FlyQuest. And with their backs against the wall, TSM brought out a pick that nobody is playing in North America. Really, no one's even playing in solo queue. No one's playing in North American professional play. No one's playing it anywhere in the world at all. It's a pick that's been completely off everyone's radars. They pull out the Shen jungle. Now, they have the youngest player in the entire LCS, Spica. He is an 18-year-old jungler. He is a rookie. This is his first split playing full-time. This is his very first ever playoffs. I can't even remember if he maybe played some playoff games for them last time or if he just came in for the gauntlet last time for them in 2019. He's played in some high-pressure games before, obviously, but this is really his first real true test with TSM. And again, they're down 2-1 to Team Liquid. They are at risk of elimination. Their backs are against the wall. And they have put him on this very, very unconventional pick. Obviously, part of the pick was to throw off Team Liquid in draft. Obviously, most teams are going to think it's Shen top lane, which just allowed TSM to get a favorable matchup in the top lane, having Jason to Ornn. But then it leaves you with Shen jungle, who most people would say is pretty troll. Again, no team is really playing this pick anywhere. The clear is awful. He doesn't have very good dueling against other junglers and stuff. He needs to scale up a ton. When you put Shen in the jungle, you can't even split push with him, so you just kind of... It's just really questionable pick, and it could have absolutely blown up in TSM's face, but it didn't. It worked out. TSM won Game 4. TSM brought it all the way back, and then in Game 5, they went with this pick again, and it worked again, and they won 2 games in a row. I think this is a really interesting pick. Going into the finals for TSM now, this is going to add an extra wrinkle for them in drafts. It's going to add an extra wrinkle for Spica. FlyQuest is going to have to think about how they're going to deal with the River Shen. But I kind of want to talk about how he's able to make it work, how he's able to pull this off, and how they were able to surprise Team Liquid with this pick that, again, no one's really playing anywhere. So first up, talking about Spica's rune page, he's actually going press the attack Shen with Triumph, Legend Alacrity, Last Stand, and then he has Domination secondary with Zombie Ward and Ultimate Hunter. So press the attack, super good on Shen. Since he is a little weak early, by having the press the attack, you're able to get a little bit of increased damage. Obviously, if you land taunt on someone, you're going to be able to auto attack them enough and stuff to proc that press the attack, get some extra damage onto them. It's also going to help with your ganks and stuff. Again, if you're able to taunt someone in a gank, you can get that press the attack going. It's going to help your laners do increased damage, yourself do increased damage, and you'll be in a good spot. Triumph going to be really nice for staying alive. Legend Alacrity going to help you get, with that attack speed. It's going to help you both in the jungle and on ganks and everything. Ultimate Hunter is obviously the big one that people are really going to focus on, getting that Shen ultimate down to as low of a cooldown as you can, especially because you're in the jungle. You're not going to be getting as much like XP as like a top lane Shen, so you're not going to be hitting like level 16 as fast or anything unless the game goes super late. So it's pretty interesting in the rune page. As far as the build that Spica was going with, this is not your average solo queue Shen build that you'd be seeing. He's not going Tiamat into Titanic Hydra or anything like that. I know on the broadcast I talked about how junglers don't get that much gold in the LCS and in professional play, especially a tank style jungler. It's not like carrying, like maybe something like a Graves or a Lee Sin can get a lot of gold, but a Shen's not going to be getting very much gold, especially when his clear is as terrible as it is. So Spica actually decided to just go completely full tank. He's going Blue Smite, Cinderhulk into support items after that. Stuff like Knight's Vow, stuff like Iron Locket of Solare, stuff like Redemption. He even goes in this game. He just got very creative with his playstyle, with his build, with his rune setup, everything. And Team Liquid was completely thrown off by this pick. Obviously, in this composition specifically, the Shen works really well with the Rakan. Rakan is able to just jump in, even if he has to flash in W, you know, he can start landing his ult, charming up a bunch of people, and then he gets that Shen on top of him, and they're able to layer that CC so effectively, and they did this in multiple team fights against Team Liquid just to be able to completely dominate them. because, again, Rakan, he's able to charm them, knock them up. By the time Shen comes in, Shen's able to come in, taunt through all of them, and then they're just completely locked down for so long at that point. Then it's easy for, like in this composition, the Syndra to come over the top with a huge Scatter the Weak, and then the ultimate on top of that, and you're able to kill high priority targets very, very easily. So there definitely is a thought that has to go into the draft. I don't think Shen is this completely sleeper OP pick that we've been sleeping on and completely forgetting about, and he's just going to dominate the meta. Now, you do need a composition that is able to dive in, really get on to people. You do need to have that engage for Shen to follow up on after that. What was really interesting, again, is since you're not Tiamat Shen, you can't really split push. He doesn't have the wave clear to be in the side lanes, where usually you'd want your Shen split pushing and then ulting into the fight to be able to create side lane pressure, but then also having the global pressure of the Shen ultimate. But with Jungle Shen, you don't get that. Spica actually had to play in team fights. So he was constantly looking for flanks, looking for flash taunts, and then he would kind of be the one starting fights off flanks and stuff. And then he would try to get out and then ult in onto like Bjergsen or Doublelift, keeping them safe later on in the fight if Biofrost wasn't the one to engage. If Biofrost was the one to engage, he's just going to ult on him and they're going to land that CC chain. But if not, if he's the main engage, then he's looking to ult back out later on. And it was just really, really interesting. It was really crazy. Again, nobody thought Spica would be this player making this huge difference at this stage in his career. He's just a rookie. He's 18 years old. But he had an amazing series on Nidalee, on Shen, just being able to really be effective in a ton of different ways and show off this completely unique pick where TSM is usually known for their kind of like boring, uninteresting drafts and just kind of rolling over and dying. But now they have this new playstyle with this new team to split, where they're able to pull out unconventional picks, pull out stuff that nobody else is doing. They're willing to take risks, try new things, and every once in a while it works out. And I guarantee you, nobody expected Spica to be carrying on this River Shen jungle pick in Game 4, and then even in Game 5 against Team Liquid in the LCS semifinals. And now, again, TSM is headed to the finals. It'll be interesting to see what happens. Are they going to be able to play Shen jungle again against FlyQuest? Is it something FlyQuest is going to need to ban? Is there a really easy answer to this that with some prep they can shut it down very easily? Who knows? But again, the Shen jungle, his clear is very, very terrible, so he needed a good leash. They had to be careful early. He couldn't really do anything, but they actually found some creative ways to get the Shen jungle involved. In Game 5, he goes for a level 2 gank bottom off just the red buff, and yeah, that's very cheesy, but Shen's a great champion to have for that. You have your taunt, you have enough damage with red buff, you have slows, if your bot lane has CC, you can really layer that together, and the Shen found ways to get involved early and often, and then obviously as you begin to scale up, you have your ultimate. It just gets really, really easy after that. But yeah, TSM was able to use this really, really creative pick to make it to the LCS finals. Now it's going to be interesting to see how this story plays out. But again, the most unlikely of champions, the most unlikely of picks, even if Shen was going to be the difference maker in the series, no one would guess it'd be Shen jungle. No one would guess it'd be Spica. But TSM did it. They were able to pull off this really, really interesting pick. And that's the story of how Shen jungle, River Shen, was able to take TSM all the way to the LCS finals in the spring split of 2020. And how maybe it might even be a reason that they end up winning the LCS championship in the split. But again, that series is coming up today. TSM is going to be playing FlyQuest in just about a couple of hours. We'll have to see how that plays out. But either way, this is such an exciting thing to see. Really, really interesting stuff. And Shen jungle is not a great pick in solo queue. I'm not saying it's something you should run out and play. But if you have like duos that like to carry and you're looking for a new pick or something interesting just to shake things up, Shen jungle might want to be on your radar. And if you're FlyQuest, it definitely needs to be on your radar. But that's pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below. What do you think about Shen jungle? Do you think it was just cheesy and TSM was able to surprise them with it? Or do you think there's really something to this pick and we might start to see some more of it worldwide, especially headed into Worlds? Definitely subscribe to on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.